Have you ever stopped to think about how some ideas, these really profound truths, manage to survive for thousands of years? I mean, empires fall, libraries burn, whole civilizations vanish. Yet somehow, the wisdom remains. Today, we're going deep, uncovering the secrets hidden in the stones and exploring exactly how this ancient knowledge is kept alive. Our source material kicks things off with this really beautiful image. It asks us to stop thinking about wisdom as something you'd find on a dusty old scroll in a forgotten library. Instead, picture it as this vibrant, living thing, a shimmering thread that's been intentionally and very carefully woven through the fabric of history. So that leads us to the central question, right? If this knowledge is so powerful, and we know civilizations are so fragile, how in the world does it actually survive? What's the system? Because this isn't just about history for history's sake. We're talking about living knowledge that people are actively seeking out today to change their lives. So let's unpack how that's even possible. Right away, we learn that the survival of this wisdom is no accident. It's not just luck. The material presents it as this incredibly intricate art form, a deliberate, conscious effort to maintain what it calls a golden thread of understanding, right through all the chaos of human history. So how is this golden thread maintained? Well, it's through a key mechanism, lineage. But, and this is a big but, we're not talking about a family tree or just some dry historical timeline. No, this is something way more alive, way more dynamic. So, what exactly is an unbroken lineage? Well, the definition is key. It's a direct, person to person transmission. Think of it less like a lecture and more like a sacred apprenticeship. It's not just information getting passed down, it's also a kind of energetic authority, a spark that ensures the teaching stays pure and potent as it moves from one generation to the very next. And here we go, this idea of a living current is absolutely central to understanding this. Engaging with a real lineage isn't like reading a book about electricity, it's like plugging directly into a live socket. It creates a direct connection right now to the original ancient source of that power. And this really highlights the two different ways of looking at it. On one hand, you've got the historical record. It's academic, it's about information, it's focused on the past. And then you've got the living current. It's dynamic, it's energetic, and it's all about a transmission happening in the present moment. According to our source material, true wisdom, well, it travels on that second path. Okay, but if this living current was so precious, where was it kept safe? Who were the guardians? Well, that brings us to the legendary Guardians of the Flame, the ancient mystery schools. These were the institutions specifically designed to protect and house this knowledge. You can literally think of these schools as spiritual vaults. Their whole purpose was to create a safe container for truths that were considered so powerful or so easily misunderstood that they couldn't just be released out into the world. They weren't hiding knowledge to be selfish. They were protecting it from being twisted, watered down, or lost forever. And get this, the methods they used were unbelievably sophisticated. It wasn't just about writing things in books. Knowledge was passed directly, teacher to student, through oral tradition. It was encoded into the very architecture of their temples. It was embedded into a person's being through direct experience in rituals. And it was veiled in myths and allegorical stories. All of this made the wisdom incredibly resilient and much, much harder to destroy. And this is such a crucial point. You hear secret society and you think of something elitist, right? But the famed secrecy of these schools wasn't about that. It was a preservation strategy. It was about ensuring that this potent wisdom was only given to people who were actually prepared to handle it with responsibility and care. The whole goal was to guard the flame, not to hide the light. Okay, so this all sounds like fascinating ancient history, but so what? How does any of this connect to us, right here, right now? Well, this is the bridge to today. This is all about how these ancient lineages are being reawakened in our modern world. The information points to these really pivotal figures who act as bridge builders, literally connecting the past to the present. Gudni Gudnason is named as one of these figures, someone whose entire life's work has been about reactivating these ancient wisdom traditions and making them accessible again today. So you can actually trace the flow like a chain of custody for wisdom. It starts in the ancient schools, it's carried forward by that unbroken lineage, it's then reestablished by a modern bridge builder like Gudni Gudnason to finally reach you, the modern seeker. And the Modern Mystery School is presented as the vehicle for this transmission today. The focus here shifts completely away from just studying history and moves into direct experience. It's all about getting practical tools for your own personal development, taking these powerful ancient principles and actually applying them to the challenges and opportunities of life in the 21st century. Which brings us to our final section, wisdom in your hands. Why should any of this matter to you? Well, according to the source, the entire point of this incredible multi-thousand-year preservation effort is so that this knowledge can be used, right now, for your own personal transformation. This is what's called practical alchemy, and the idea is really simple at its core. It's about taking the lead of your everyday life, the stress, the confusion, the feeling of being stuck, and using these time-tested ancient tools to consciously transform it into the gold of personal clarity, real purpose, and true self-mastery. And this brings us full circle, back to another powerful metaphor. The lineage is a flowing river of truth, not some stagnant pond from the past. And from this perspective, the work of figures like Gudni Gunnison is simply to open the gates again, allowing anyone who's ready to access this sacred, life-giving current for themselves. So, we'll end with this question for you to think about. The narrative presents this incredible story of knowledge preserved and a river of wisdom made accessible again. So it leaves us all with one final thought. If the river is flowing, what does it mean to actually take a drink? Something to ponder. Thanks for joining me.